So in a healthy field, there's a balance between structure and flow. And again, this comes from Bert Hellinger and the work of family constellations, that energy gets blocked, and in particular love. Love is this healing energy. If it's blocked in some way, it's hard for a system to heal. So we want to create the channels and open the space for there to be flow. And the support we give as practitioners create some of those structures that open that flow. And you can think about energy being like water, like a river. So if a river has too much structure, like a dam, there's a lot of structure, that just stops the flow, right? That's a ton of structure. So that doesn't really allow the flow to go through. That's too much structure, too little flow. Too much flow and too little structure is a flood. So either it's a kind of overflow the banks flood where every field is knee deep in water and it's kind of a muddy, stagnant mess. That's one kind of flood, right? Where it's stagnant and it's not moving. So that's no structure gives you that kind of a stagnancy. Or the other no structure is just the galloping, massive intensity of waves, which is an overwhelm flood. Again, that's too much flow, but different than the puddle flow. It's a crashing wave flow. And so we want to create structure that is the right balance, the structure and flow that is in the right balance. And as sensitive people, we can sort of experience all of those at the same time. Sometimes we're overwhelmed. Right? There's so much information coming in, we can't make sense of it, and it burns us out and it fries our nervous system a little bit. That's the overwhelm. Or sometimes we're blocked. It's just too much and we don't really know how to deal with it well, so we just put up a dam and we defend and we block. And so either way, we're not in the line with that flow. We haven't got our skills for that aperture. And so it can be muddy or blurry. That's another one, is that we are engaged and intertwined, but we're kind of muddy with our connection with other people. We're entangled with other people's grief and other people's stories. That's kind of the stagnant, muddy part. We can have all of those. And so your own particular configuration around that sense of being blocked or being flooded will be helpful for you to understand. And we're going to talk about that a little bit in the class tomorrow. Like how does it live in you? Because in each of us it's different. And so these boundaries, these riverbanks that we build with ritual structures and the work we do when we're holding space for clients, that's really what holding space is. You're holding those banks. You want riverbanks that allow the river to flow. They're solid enough that it keeps things contained, but they also have enough space in them that it's not going too fast. So it's the banks that allow it to be in flow, but not in overwhelm. And that's what a holding space process is about. And that's what, as sensitive people, we need to learn to do with ourselves. How do I open the aperture so I'm getting enough information that it's useful to me, that I can use it to support these people I'm supporting, but I'm not overwhelmed?